A man with a mission to make cities more habitable, where traveling is more comfortable and less pollutant. So he thought, what if we paid for the use of the vehicle instead of paying for the vehicle itself? And so, Cabify was born. That was in 2011. A lot has happened since. Let's talk about it with Cabify CEO Juan de Antonio. Juan, are you there? Hey.
Hello. Great
Juan,
to be here again.
It's lovely to see you. You know, you are a dear friend of South Summit. Every year we see you running around here La Nave, either with friends, talking, so we miss you. Where are you now?
I'm actually in Madrid.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to virtually be here this time.
Excellent. You know, every time I take a Cabify, I think of you, and it's quite often. So, Juan, let me start jumping to our first question. We have a lot of questions for you, but let's see how we do, okay? We have to talk about COVID-19. Of course, you've been affected, and you've talked about it in several interviews lately. How has the COVID-19 changed the movement of people and goods in cities, and what scalable solutions will create a more sustainable urban mobility system, which is your dear mission, as I was saying?
Yeah, so I mean, during the pandemic, in many cities, we've had lockdowns, and during the lockdowns, you could go out on the street and do certain things, and you would notice that there would be the typical traffic of cities wasn't there anymore, and you could actually enjoy, for those few minutes that you had available to be on the street, you could enjoy the city more. The reality is that 70 to 80% of our cities, of the space of our cities, is reserved for private vehicles, and that doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I mean, out of a crisis, out of a pandemic, positive changes can emerge. And I'm sure we can leverage those learnings to rethink our cities and to start to make them more habitable for its citizens. We're starting to see many more people using bicycles, cities creating more bike lanes. So our hope is that we learn from this, and as opposed to using more private vehicles, we find more sustainable ways to move around the city.
Okay, Juan, so in that sense, as I was asking Riv before, from his experience, to give us some tips to new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that are actually in this track, in this sector, how, in case of the Spanish startups or any startup, but what are the opportunities that you would tell them, or that if you started again, you would jump into right now at this time towards that goal, towards that sustainability, and that, what are the opportunities that you see?
I mean, change generates opportunities, and now people preferences are changing. Now we worry more about safety, we worry more about security, attributes that a while ago maybe were not that relevant in some decisions. So I would urge entrepreneurs to look at how people needs are changing and react quickly to them and adapt. If you keep on doing the same thing that you were doing and ignore the changes in the environment, you're going to miss on a lot of opportunities. Recently, I mean, talking about our company, we decided to support this transition towards a more sustainable way of moving around cities, and support the launch of a business that revolves around owning bicycles and making sure that you can use your bicycle in a city. So never stop innovating and reacting to the changes, because that's when you have your advantage is that you can move faster than big companies. So try to leverage that and react quickly.
Well, I think we're doing pretty well in the world, in the entrepreneurial ecosystem in general, and in Spain in particular, because you remember 10 years ago, how were the startups then? Well, I started 10 years ago, and that's another story. But how do you think things have changed, and how innovative have startups been on these 10 years, moving faster, always innovating? What are the difference from those 10 years ago, let's say, till now? What do you see?
Mm-hmm. So in Spain, 10 years ago, it was challenging to start a company. It was not, I mean, your mom would ask you, are you sure? What are you doing? Why are you going to keep this job and start something on your own? And the situation now is different. There are, people feel proud of having friends who have started a company. And I would say the change comes from the fact that right now people recognize that the success is working in something that is relevant to you. Maybe 10 years ago, success was more linked to a specific revenue or to number of employees or to the salary you were making. And society has evolved, and I believe right now there are more people who believe that success is more related to how close you are to your goals, how you are investing your time towards achieving what you believe is relevant to you. And in that context, working in a startup that tries to tackle a problem that is relevant to you, it's undoubtedly a successful way of life, and so consequently more and more people are investing their time and their lives in tackling those problems that are important to them. So, it's a decade has gone by, and not without notice. It's a very different world and a much better place to
Juan, we can say
company.
we have the two P's now. It's not only profitability, but also purpose. And I believe Cabify has had these two P's all the way, more now than before. So, Juan, all best of luck. We keep fighting there. We hope to see you around these corridors in La Nave in South Summit soon, at least in 2021. And in the meantime, we all take Cabify. So big kiss to Juan de Antonio,
Thank you.
our
See you
dear
soon.
friend.